Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing good. So first of all, I'm sorry that you're looking at me in a funny angle. My tripod has decided it just doesn't like me anymore. So I'm gonna have to get a new one. So you're looking at me a bit of a funny angle today. I got my chins. Second of all, yes, I'm wearing a BTS hoodie. I love BTS. It's one of my favourites. And it's comfy. So here I am. I wanted to do something a bit different today. I decided I'm a little bit bored of the way my current project pan is kind of set up. Sorry, my cat has come to visit. Come on. You gonna say hello? No? You wanna go and carry on playing? Okay. I have just fed her, so her meows are lies. So I've decided to do a little bit of a shop my stash. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you everything I have in each category and pick something at random or something that particularly takes my fancy to try, and I'll update you how it went at the end of, we're almost at the end of August now, aren't we? So at the end of September I'll see how much things have been used up, if I've got bored of them, and I think it'll help me really think about how to declutter some things or just get rid of some things, because if I make it through the end of the month and I'm bored of them, then there's no point keeping them. Or if I decide actually I really love this product still, sorry my tripod is so wonky and floppy today, but if I decide I really love it, then I know that it's something to definitely keep and she's going to make herself comfy on me. Okay. Well, this is going to make things a bit tricky if she's claimed one of my arms as her bed. My room stinks at the minute. I keep her litter tray in the corner of my room, and this morning she decided to protest the fact that I got out of bed and she couldn't keep cuddling me, and she pooped in the middle of my carpet. So if anyone knows how to get cat stench out of a carpet, let me know. I've done my best. I've disinfected it, scrubbed it clean and Febrezed it, but still a bit of a lingering smell, so yeah. Okay, so excuse me miss, you're going to have to move off my arm for a few minutes and we can go back to cuddling when I'm finished. Go on, off you go. It's alright, you can sit on the bed if you like, just not on top of me. Alright, okay. So my hair is not doing as I want it to today, it just looks scruffy, and somebody is adamant on getting Snuggles. You've had Snuggles all afternoon. Well, since I got back from work anyway. Okay, you make yourself comfy up there, you can stay there. Alright, so I've got everything laid out in front of me. I'm going to go through category by category, and as I pick something out, I'm going to put it on my face. So I'm going to start off with primers. So I have a couple. So, excuse me, you're in the way. Do I have to shut you out of the bedroom? Do I have to shut you out? Just for a few minutes? Mummy's busy. If it's not my actual kid, it's this one these days. So, yeah, get yourself comfy. You can stay there, you're not in the way. Okay, so primers. At the moment I've been using my Bobbi Brown as a vitamin enriched face base. I don't have much left of that, but we'll see what we pick. Next up is my Elf Cookies and Dreams. This hasn't been touched yet. This is still brand new. Still smells absolutely gorgeous. Obviously I know what it's going to feel like, what it's going to do, because I had the Poreless Putty Primer, and I'm pretty sure it's exactly the same thing, just with a different scent. So that's next up. And then I have a couple of minis and a tester. So I've got the Benefit Pore Professional. I've got two of these little minis. So if I end up picking these, if I end up picking one of these, I'll use them both. And then I have another Benefit primer. I can't remember what this one's called, but it's the pink one. I would probably know it to see it, but I can't remember right now. So there's probably only enough in that. Yeah, there's probably only enough in there for a couple of applications. So I think if I pick that one, I'll probably put all of these 3 together because there's not really much of them, and I can't see one of these lasting an entire month. So I'll put all of these together. So technically there's 3 categories. There's Bobbi Brown, Elf, or Benefit. So how do I do this? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay them all out next to me, and I'm going to take my sponge. Weird way of doing this. I know it's still a bit grubby. I haven't properly washed it since last time I used it. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to swirl this around and drop it in any direction, and whichever one it lands on is the one I'll use. Bobbi Brown. So I'll carry on using this one for now. So I'll put a little bit of that on now, and we'll see where we get to by the end of September. I just feel like this will just help me change up a little bit how I do it, maybe make me use things that I tend to not gravitate towards in my collection. And I think it'll help me realise that if I'm bored of something, I can get rid of it without the guilt of, oh, I haven't used it in ages, let's just get rid. There's a couple of categories that I only have one product in. So those ones are going to be really easy. And I am also on a no buy for a little while. The only exceptions are things that I completely run out of everything in the category, then I'm allowed to buy one thing. But other than that, I am on a no buy. Like foundations and concealers, eyeshadows and lip products, I will not need anything anytime soon unless things start to smell, which I doubt it because a lot of them are quite new. Right, I've just dropped my sponge on the floor. A bit of gymnastics to reach it. Okay, so next up is foundations. So I have a few of these. So first one I reached into is the NYX Born to Glow. I've had this a little while. I think this one's not a bad colour match for me. Oh, that's way too much. Can't get the lid back on now. Yeah, I don't think it's a bad match. I think the light makes it look a little bit more yellow than it is. I know the lighting's a little bit weird at the minute. It's starting to get dark outside, but if I turn my ceiling light on, it just makes everything look really, really yellow and really, really odd. So I thought I'd just turn that off, use my ring light instead. Okay, so that's my first foundation in the options. Next up, can you get off, is my YSL Cushion Foundation. This is in the shade 10. This is the Fusion Ink Cushion Foundation. I've had this one a little while. This one is a little bit pale for me, but I think with a bit of bronzer I can make it work. I'm not going to bother swatching it now because I'm going to end up with an absolute armful. But that's next up is the YSL. I've also got, every time I lean over, she grabs onto me. This is the Milani Conceal and Perfect. This one isn't quite the right shade for me. This is a little bit dark, a little bit yellow. But again, with powders and a little bit of concealer, good bit of blending, we can make it work. I've got hair in my mouth. I don't know, quality content there. So here's my Milani, and I have 3 more, and again the cat. This is the Kiko Unlimited Foundation. Again, I think this is slightly the wrong colour, but again, a bit of blending, a bit of powder and other products, I can make it work. There we go. And last but not least, I'm actually gonna put these together because I've always, no, not these ones. No, I'm not going to put these ones together. Next up, I have Charlotte Tilbury, the Airbrush Flawless Foundation in 5 Cool Freud. I don't know what that means. But yeah, I have this one. Again, a little bit dark, bit of powder, bit of concealer, bit of blending, can make it work. And lastly, not least, is the Urban Decay Stay Naked Foundation. This one's all right for me. This one's actually a little bit light, so I tend to mix it. But we can make it work, whatever we use, whatever I pick. This one was previously in my project pan, or is it still in my project pan? I don't think it is. I think I can't remember which one was in my project pan, because I think I rolled it out and just started whichever one I fancied using at the time. I just realised it's going to be a really long video. So yeah, I'm going to lay these all out in front of me. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this time I'm going to use a lip liner, whichever one it lands on, closing my eyes. NYX Born to Glow. Okay. I haven't used this one in a little while, to be fair, so I don't think there's an awful lot left in here. It's probably too much again. Right, so the rest I'm going to just put to one side, and I'll go back in my basket for a little bit. I'll just dot that all over, so I'm having to use my viewfinder to see myself. I don't really remember what I thought of this particular foundation before when I used it. I used to use it quite a lot. But as far as I remember, I didn't hate it. I think it's quite a glowy one, isn't it? Obviously it's in the name, Born to Glow. I tend to dull it down a little bit with powders. I'm not really one for a massively glowy look. You can see my camera jiggling with every movement. I've had a bit of a breakout lately around here, so a little bit of concealer down there won't hurt. Okay, I think that's patted in nicely. I also don't like to put too much on. I don't like a full coverage really, so you can still see some blemishes around here, but personally I think it makes it look a little bit more natural on me. I also have a lot of freckles, so I don't like to cover them completely. I just think I look a little bit more natural with those bits and pieces showing. I'm just getting my mirror out. Yeah, I don't hate the way that looks. It's not too bad. Okay, so far we've picked, where did I put it? This is going well already, isn't it? Oh, here it is, right in front of me. So far we've picked the Bobbi Brown and the NYX. So I'm going to put those over here. Next up is concealer, and I only have 2. And I think I'm actually going to go with this one and chuck this one, because I've had this for quite a while, I think. Let me smell it. Do I just get some? No. No. I'll do it properly, like the rest of them. So what I'm going to do with these 2, I'm going to throw them up in the air just a little bit. Whichever one lands closest to me, I'll pick. So ready? It's the 17. So this is the Boots brand. I think it's reasonably new. It's only been out for maybe a couple of months. This is a Second Skin Enhancing Concealer. So I'm going to take a little bit just in the inner, a little bit in the outer. And my cat is making herself known. I like to I've always got very, very prominent eye bags, so I don't tend to put too much effort into covering them up really, because it's a bit of a lost cause with me. They're there. They're always there. They never go. I mean, yesterday I came home from work and I slept for like 6 hours, had dinner and then went back to bed until this morning, and I've still got eye bags. And it's not like I don't sleep. I go to bed pretty early. I don't always get up very early. It varies really. I just always have them. It's in my genes, I suppose. So yeah, you can still see them. It's not the end of the world to me. I'm not that bothered really. I've just kind of gotten used to them now. What should we do next? Next up, let's do lip hydration. So I have 4 in this category. I think this is Collection. Yeah, this is Collection Lip Spa Lip Oil and Argan Oil. This one, I moved took the sticker off and put it on the lid. That's why it looks a bit tatty, because I couldn't see into it to see how much was in there. I've also got my Clarins lip oil. We all know how much I love this one. I have Iconic London lip oil. This is really nice actually. It's one of those ones that feels really, really thick and smooth, but not sticky at all. I absolutely love it. And I've also got the Glossier Mango Balm.com. And I'm going to drop them in front of my cat and see which one she goes for. Ready? She's looking at the Clarins. So yeah, we're going to go with this one. I'm going to pop a little bit on. It just smells beautiful. It smells like a strawberry milkshake in the nicest possible way. I'm going to put that over there and pop these ones to one side. Okay, so when it comes to, I've got a couple of categories that only have one, and that starts off with my bronzer. I only have this one. This is the Physicians Formula, so I'm going to pop a little bit on, and please don't judge me for how I put it on. I know I do it weirdly. I probably don't do it the right way. So and I don't like to do too much, because I think with my face shape it looks a bit unnatural if I put a bit too much on. Just kind of blend it a little bit. I noticed recently I have a bit of a weird hairline. Bit odd. It seems to go really sparse here, and then I have this little dip here. Just a bit of definition. I know it looks a little bit messy at the moment, but once I put my finishing powder on, it'll be dandy. I'm gonna put that over there. So blush, I have one liquid and one powder, and I always use these together, so I can't do a lot with that. I'm going to go ahead and put some on. So I just start off with a little bit of the liquid blush. So I smear a bit onto the back of my hand, and I like this one because it just helps kind of neutralise all that redness, and then I put on like a nice rosy pink. So I just put a little bit over here and going up my temple a little bit. And I think it also adds to my bronzer just a little bit. Kind of helps blend it all in a bit more seamlessly. And then I go in with my Milani Luminoso. We all know this one. This one's been around a while. Just put a little bit on top. This one's quite a glowy one, so I don't use an awful lot. And I know that looks absolutely crazy at the minute. It looks like, whoop. That'll be alright. That'll be alright. Okay. I've only got one brow product, and that is the e.l.f. Wow Brow, so I'll just swipe a little bit through my brows. I need to trim these up again, really. I don't like to fill them in or anything because they're already so thick. Okay, I tend to keep them quite natural. And the other product, the other category that I only have one product in is mascara. I have the 17 Ultimate Lasting Definition Mascara. I do actually have another one. I haven't opened it yet, and I kind of don't want to because I've had this a few weeks now, and I don't want to use something else in this to go bad. And I do really like this one, so I'm gonna save the unopened one for another time. For now, but I'm not gonna put this on just yet because I need to choose a couple of eye products, and I'm gonna probably have to move back a little bit because I have so many, and also my back is killing me, weirdly. Okay, here comes the fun bit. I have one, so 17, just called eyeshadow palette in pinks. 2, this is the Stila Glitter and Glow set that comes as the magnetic. 3, Charlotte Tilbury Eyes to Memorise in Champagne. It's the cream eyeshadow. I love this one. What are we on? 4, this is the XX Revolution XX Sight palette. I've shown this a few times. 5, Urban Decay 2 Naked 2. One of them fell out, but that's what we have. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Revolution in Forever Dynamic. This is more of a green and browns palette. 7, Revolution and Alexis Stone Instinct palette. This is the bright and colourful one. 8, e.l.f. Cookies and Dreams. We know what this one looks like. I managed to get most of the collection when that came out. That's a highlighter palette. Bare Minerals Bare Naturals palette. I'd really like this one. Yeah, I actually really do like that one. ABH Subculture. I do find I like this particular palette as more of a like a autumn / winter palette. I think the colours are very earthy and a bit more suited towards the end of the year. So what have we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. This is Urban Decay Naked Heat. So all the reds and some purples. I've got the Profusion Mixed Metals in Glam. So that's what that looks like. And inside, it's a really nice neutral palette with a pop of colour. I haven't reused it an awful lot. I have a few times. And then I have a few smaller things. So I've got the 17 Ink Legend tattoo liner. I've got the silver one. I fancied something a bit different. I've got the NYX Epic Wear eyeliner. I think I'm going to put this one separate because I only have one eyeliner, and yeah, I'm going to put that to one side and have that separate in there. I've got the e.l.f. Cookies and Dreams No Budge eyeshadow. This is the brown one. I do also have the blue one somewhere, but I can't remember where I've put it. But I will find it. Excuse me? Excuse me? Hey! You need to come down, Sleepy. That's it. Right down there for a few more minutes. And I've also got the Laura Geller Eye Dew Cream Shadow Crayon in Pewter. This is quite pretty, actually. But it's not as like shimmery or metallic as I thought it might be. You can see it's a little bit something. It's nice as a bit of a eyeliner thing. If I want to wear like neutral colours, it's nice as a bit of an eyeliner. So how many palettes were there? So what I think I'm going to do is I can't pull up a random number generator because I'm using my phone to film because I don't have a camera. Okay, how am I going to do this? So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 palettes. So how am I going to do it? If I get 10 brushes, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, just enough. So how I'm going to do this is, just for the palettes, I am going to lay them out in an order, just any kind of order, completely random. I'm going to drop my brushes, and however many have the bristles facing me, I'm going to pick that number out of my collection. So I'm going to go along the line like 1, 2, 3, 4. So say there's 6 that are facing me, I'm going to go along my line and say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and that'll be the palette I choose. I think I might do this twice and have 2 palettes, just so I can kind of change it up a little bit throughout the month. And then I think my other eye products, so like my eyeliners and my little pot, I'm gonna throw those in as well, just so I can change it up. Okay, are we ready? 1, 2, 3. So we have 1, 2. I'll count that as 3. So we have 3 brushes that landed facing me. So I'm going to count, do I count left to right or right to left? It's normal to count left to right, isn't it? So 1, 2, 3 is Subculture. So I will be wearing that for the next month, and I'm going to do it one more time. I'll take a brush out, because I'll take the big one out actually. We've already picked one, so ready? 1, 2, 3. And how many do we have facing me? 1, just 1, and that is my Urban Decay Naked Heat. So that's a bit of an interesting combination, really. So a lot of earthy, deep tones, really. So I'm gonna figure something nice out to do with those, maybe mix them together a bit. How should I do it for today though? I'm thinking the ABH for this moment in time. So I'm going to put that with the rest of what's going to be used this month. So I'm going to put all of these to one side. I know this is a really chaotic way of doing it. I think next I'm going to use a number generator. But this is how it's going to be done this week. Or this month, should I say. And where did my eye primer go? I had one right here, and now I can't find it. Okay. Well, in all honesty, I'm not going out anywhere today, so I'm going to put it on without the primer and hope for the best. Okay. So I'm going to start off with a bit of a transition. I think I'm going to use... I'm feeling something brown, the pop of yellow, and maybe this gold one. So I think what I'm going to start off with is Roxy over here. I might mix a bit of Roxy and a bit of Dawn, these two here. I think I'm going to put a little bit of New Wave on, and definitely this shade here, Electric. You can see that's the shimmery one, and I've used that a few times now. But that's what I'm feeling today, so I'm going to mix a bit of those two. And just makes a nice, not too deep transition shade. And I like to put it all the way through my crease, personally. Yeah, that's blending nicely. I mean, the colours are mixing nicely. I'll go out here and all the way through. I think I've got a touch more of that one in there. There we go. I think I'm going to go, and I'll also count this week or this month how many times I use each product, so we can see. And if I end up having to dip into any other products, I will note that down and let you guys know. I think I'm gonna go with, do I go with something a little bit more yellow or a bit brown? I think what I'm gonna do is use New Wave here, this sort of browny yellow one, and then use a little bit of this brown one, Fudge, just as eyeliner, if that makes sense. I'm gonna go in the same brush and try not to overdo it. Yeah, I think that's looking okay so far. It's almost already starting to turn into a bit of a sunset, sort of autumn look, really. Okay, I like how that's turning out. Just add a bit more pop there. Okay, I like that so far. So I think what I'm going to do next is add, oh, do I use the gold one or the slightly more yellow one? So I've got these two that take my fancy. This one, I think it's Adorn, and then this one, the Electric. I think I'm feeling Electric, so I'm gonna pop a little bit of that on. I'm gonna use the same brush again. Just pick up a little bit of that. I'm gonna just put that all in the inside and bring it out a little bit. Okay, I went a little bit heavy-handed on that, but I'm not mad. I think it looks quite nice, if I'm entirely honest. I quite like that. I'm gonna try and, I can't find my little brushes that I use to sort of put a little bit on my bottom lash. So I'm gonna put I think I'm gonna mix a little bit, oh there's one, sort of like a more flat brush. This one got stained. I think I tried to use like eyeliner or something silly and then use this brush and it like just stained the brush, so I'm gonna have to try something else to get it out. I think what I'm gonna do is mix a little bit of the yellow, New Wave and Fudge on my bottom, my lower lash line, and see how that goes. I don't want it to be too dark. Oh, I went heavy-handed on that. That's okay. I can. Okay, it was very, very heavy-handed, but I think it's working. Okay, I think if I don't touch it too much, it'll be okay. So I'm gonna go back in to Fudge and just add a tiny little bit to my outer, just for a bit of definition. Okay, probably not my best work. I'll practice on it, but I don't think it looks completely horrendous, if I'm honest, but I could be wrong. Tell me in the comments how bad I look. I don't mind, I can take it. Okay, so mascara, I only have one, so I'm gonna stick with it. I'm gonna need my mirror. I think people assume that I have like an absolute ton of makeup. I know my friends do, but I actually don't. I have quite a few things of, so like I have a lot of eyeshadows, I have a lot of lipsticks, and I have a lot of foundations, but the rest of it, I don't have that many. And I don't know. I've been told that people assume I have quite a lot of makeup. My boyfriend thinks I have an absurd amount, and I have to remind him I absolutely don't. But there we go. Don't knock me. Thank you. You come back for attention. Excuse me. You've just been fed, my sweetheart. Okay, I really love this mascara. I think it does exactly as it says. I'm gonna pop a little bit on the bottom. Oh, of course I would. That is so typical of me. There we go, fixed. I just took it off with my sponge, and I'll clean this after. Okay, so I think this look is coming together actually quite nicely so far. I'm gonna have to put you back down there for a little bit longer, darling. Let's go for highlighters next. So I have 3. This is my Catrice Clean ID, and this is a set of 3. I'm trying not to blind you with my mirror in there. My favourite, to be honest, is probably this one here, a little bit slightly more golden one, or I take my brush and just swipe them across the 3 of them, and I find that comes out with a nice champagne-y colour that really suits me. Next up is, I have a mini, is my Benefit Dandelion Twinkle, and this one's lovely. This is like a proper champagne-y, almost peachy sort of highlighter, and there is a slight dip in it where I've used it. And I also have Kaleidos Comet Catcher. This is number 1 in the Space Age collection, and you can see I've used that quite a lot. You can't really see the reflection of it, or like the colour of it really when you're doing that. If I put a bit on my finger, it's got a weird dip in it because my kid got a hold of it, so I apologise. But you can see on the corner of my hand there, oh, I did that in an awkward place, didn't I? Let's try again. There we go. You can see it has like a really nice pink reflect. It's really lovely. So how should I decide on this one? I'll put these in like a triangle, flick a brush, and whichever one the brush is facing, I'll use. Okay, so I'm going to put these randomly. So I'm going to use my e.l.f. highlighter brush, and I'm going to just sort of flip it, and whichever one it's facing will be my highlighter for the next, what is it, 4 weeks, until just over a month really, until I film the update for this. Ready? So I completely missed. I'll do it again. That landed on this one, so this is the one I'll be using. It's gonna be an odd mix really, because the eyeshadows that have been picked are quite earthy, deep tones, and then this is a really, really light highlighter. So I've got my e.l.f. Featherlight highlighting brush, and I just swipe that across. This brush almost feels too light. It feels like it doesn't really pick anything up sometimes, and then I end up putting too much on. You can see that as a nice like pink reflect. Just a little bit down my nose, and I just pat a little bit up here. There we go. Okay, for the next one, lipsticks. So I have lots, and there's a few that aren't here because they end up in handbags, in my car, coat pockets. So some of them are in various places, and I end up just finding them and using them as and when, but I'm gonna pick one and focus on it. Now I'll be honest, I'm not going to do a pick and mix with this one because I want to pick something that's going to suit the looks that I'm going to end up going for. So in this collection I have a Pat McGrath lipstick. This is the Flesh Fatale Blitz Trance. This is a really nice red one with like gold flakes in it. I don't know if you can really see that in the camera, but it's like a deep red. I don't know if you can focus, but anyway, it's got like really fine golden glitter in it. It's really beautiful, but I don't think it's going to suit. I also have Lancome Beige Mirage cream lipstick. This has fallen apart a little bit. This was my absolute favourite for a really long time, and I do absolutely love this. I'm not gonna put it in this time round. I think it's just a touch too pink for what I'm gonna end up going for. This is a Charlotte Tilbury lipstick in Lucky Diamonds. This is sort of a very neutral, almost brown shade with, again, sort of bronzy, goldish, really fine sparkles in it. It's another really beautiful one, but a bit too brown for what I'm thinking of. This next one is by Dior. My brother got me this for Christmas a couple of years ago, and I tell you what, that boy has good taste. It's sort of my perfect colour, and I absolutely love it. It's so easy to put on, and it smells nice. It dries down nicely without feeling rubbery or like tacky or anything like that. I'm going to put that to one side. I also have Milani. This is 89 Naked. I picked this up randomly just because I wanted a Milani lipstick, but this one is quite pink. You can kind of see it through the bottom. It's very pink. I've got Revolution. I don't know if I even like this one really. It smells fine, but it's a really dark red. This one's called Vampire Night. I think it came in one of those sets that they did a few years ago. You know, when Kylie's lip kits started going absolutely crazy, you know, with, well, everybody knew what they were, the lip liner and liquid lipstick set. I think Revolution started doing their own as well, or whether they already did them, or if I just noticed them around that time. I got loads of them. I think I got every single one that Revolution did because I didn't have lip liners, so I just bought loads, and I ended up with crazy colours. I think I had one that was like a really deep purple, one that was meant to be like a unicorn. It had like a really white glittery lipstick with it, lip gloss, and I really didn't like it much. But I've ended up getting rid of, well, all but this one over the years, but I'm not going to put that in this time. I've got 4 more, and I'm going to put, I know which 2 I want to put in, and I'll show you those last. The last two that I'm not going to put in this time round are 2 Glossier lipsticks. One is in Cake and one is in Like. So they're meant to be really sheer. You can see one's almost like a coral and one's a nice deep purpley pink sort of colour, and they're both beautiful. I just don't fancy having them this time round. So the 2 I'm going to put in, who's this? This is Glossier Play Vanillic Lip in, this is the High Shine Lacquer. I don't think it says the shade name. Is it Horta Brilliance? I'm not sure. But anyway, is this one here. It's like a nice, it's a nice nudie colour. It feels really nice on the lips, so I'm going to pop that in. And also I'm going to pop in this one, which is Givenchy in 106 Nude, and I've not had this very long, and it's another They're quite similar really, but this one's a little bit deeper than that one. And I think I'm gonna pop this one on for now. I'll grab a mirror. This one's very My Lips But Better sort of vibe, and I absolutely love it. I got it on sale. I was well proud of myself. I found it on the sale in, oh, what's it called? House of Fraser. They've always got like a little bargain rack sort of thing for makeup. And there's always a lot of Lancome in there. But one time I went in there and I found the Givenchy lipstick, and there was a few of them, but that was the one I liked the best. And I just could not say no. It was just beautiful. So there was one last thing, isn't there? Where's my brush? And the last product that I only have one left is, or one product, is my Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish in medium. And I do have one other powder, but I love this one and I'm determined to finish it because look, it's nearly done. It's been nearly done for how long now? Months? So I'm determined that by the end of September, this to be finished because I have a backup. I have another one to use. So I just dot this all over. And it just helps mute the... I end up putting a lot of highlighter on because this sort of mutes it quite a bit. So it helps, you can see it shines through without looking crazy. But this is just the ease. I just love this powder. I've loved it from the moment I got it. It was a gift from my dad for Christmas and I absolutely love it. I already have a, well, like I said, my in-laws gave me a second one as backup when this one finishes and I can't wait. So final products. So these are the products that I'm going to be using over the next month. So let's recap. We've got Bobbi Brown Vitamin Enriched Face Base Primer, the NYX Born to Glow Foundation. I'm having to show this over my cat because she's getting a little bit clingy. You're going to have to go back down, I'm afraid. A few more minutes. We've got my two blushes. This is the B Liquid Blush in Nude and Milani Luminoso. What was next? Concealer, 17 Second Skin Enhancing Concealer. There's the Urban Decay Naked Heat and ABH Subculture. My e.l.f. Brow Wow, Kaleidos Comet Catcher, Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer in Light. Lip Hydration is my Clarins Lip Oil in Strawberry. And then I've got Glossier Vanillic Lip Blacker and Givenchy in Nude. And that's all we've got for today. So that's all I'm gonna focus on. If I need to use anything else, I will note it down. I'll let you know in the update. And this video has gone on forever with special furry guest. Oh yeah, and I forgot to mention, obviously, Charlotte Tilbury Finishing Flawless Powder. And then the 17 mascara. And I think that's it. I'm gonna call it done there because this has gone on forever. My skincare is all going to stay the same. I've got one of each thing that I need for my skincare and that's about it. The only different thing that I use is if I've not worn makeup, I use my salicylic acid cleanser, which I use every morning, and in the evening if I've not worn makeup. But if I have worn makeup, then this is how I take it off. I use my Pixie Double Cleanse. You can see I haven't worn makeup much lately. But yeah, That's the only thing that changes if I wear makeup. That's the only thing that changes. The rest of my skincare it all stays the same. Obviously in daytime I use, so for the morning I use this one, Sim Bright Moisturiser by the Inkey List, and in the evenings I use the Overnight Mask by Miley. And yes, this video is ridiculously long and I apologise. Yeah, I still would like to help, would ask you, can't get my words out today. I would still like to ask you to help me reach 100 followers by the end of 2022. So if you could help by leaving a like, a comment about anything at all, and subscribing to my channel, that would be most appreciated. I would like to say thank you to everybody who does watch my video, everyone who's made it to the end of my video. It's been a long one, but we know where we're at, or at least I do, I think. My tools are going to stay the same, my skincare is going to stay the same, but that's what I'm going to focus on. So some things have changed from my project pan recently, or what I was project panning. And yes, interact with me down in the comments. I like to get involved. Nobody comments on my videos. It's sad. I just want to interact with somebody. Let me know what you think. I'm going to call it done. It's a long video. I'm sorry. I will see you in the next one. Bye guys.